Ladies and gentlemen, at times it becomes difficult where to start from, talking about this man who have lived for 67 years. But I thank God that I got to know him when we worked together in the 6th Parliament. And somehow we walked the journey together, and later on formalized our marriage in 2009, July there. So he's been my husband, but also my friend. Yes. Where some people wonder how we manage, because even in politics, two politicians to be in one house, if you know politicians, how they behave. And to make matters worse, ours, it reached a point he belonged to one party, another one, I belonged to another one. But we were living in one roof. So these children are the ones who would also wonder how. They would times ask, how? Mommy this, but daddy this. But it's because of how understanding he was, and probably how I also understood how life should be. That even if you don't agree to certain issues, it should not separate you or separate you from being a friend. It is a tendency at times in this country, when one belongs to another party, another one belongs, so is regarded as an enemy. It shouldn't be an enemy. So I think John and I, we demystified that. And we lived fairly well. I lived in a house of, as you heard, 4 boys. I was the only woman and only a girl in the house. But they were all good to me, I should say. Until one day, when I got another girl in the names of Winnie here, she is now supporting me. But besides that, John had love for certain things. And one of them is loving children of his family. So we are talking of these 4, but I want to tell you, there were many, and all of them, most of them called him daddy, daddy. It would be difficult to say uncle. Well, some would say uncle. Those who would say uncle were also children like those of TT, those of Speaker Anita Mong, uncle, most of them. But all those children of the bigger family, he loved them, and they also loved him. And actually, he went ahead and loved even the families that are related or around the family, like extended families, where these children have gone for marriage, and even him, where he had married, because these first children, Arnold and Asimwe, their mother passed on. And the family of the Camerahos, when I came in, they really loved him, they also loved me, and I also loved them. Same applies to the Kabasharira family. This last day when he passed on, the previous day, the Kabasharira family, one of them cooked food. That is the extent of love. And because I had gone in this so-called, I called it kahuje, this politics, is confused. I had gone, you know, we are in the season of politics. So I talked to him, I said, you know, I have to go to Rushenyi constituency. He said, fine. So they knew that I was not at home. So they cooked food without informing him, came at lunchtime and opened. Then they found other children, the Romeos, the what from other families. They had also come to give him comfort, and they enjoyed. Then this friendship, John really loved his friends. And by the way, he would keep his friendship. It would be the friends maybe to let him down, but he would never let down a friend. He had that character. So many friends would come. So that Saturday, one of the friends, the close friend, Katshabe, Winston Katshabe, today is not spoken because of time, but he also is so emotional also. So the wife, Naome, whom we call facilitator, and the children, and they prayed. He loved this Matatu chants. If you check in that book, there is where they are seated. On Saturday, one day before they prayed, and he was definitely even defeating them because he was good at that. Good at chess, good at praying Matatu, but it would keep him. So that was the friendship. And I think the family and the friendship gave him another extended life that was given to Zacharias, because he fell sick for some time. He became diabetic 20 years back, actually about 22, and it kept on escalating, bringing on board other issues. So I think it was this friendship, all the friends that are here, the family, the extended family, these girls, the girls, if you say that you girls come and speak, it will be too much. So that family, and then to be there. And we cooperated. I cooperated a lot with these children. And I want to say thank you, children. Thank you so much. All of you, really. I want to thank you. But allow me to pick one. All of them contributed, but there is one who contributed a lot in John's sickness. Lydia Turije, you can stand up for recognition. This girl loved John from A to Z. Because before I even came in John's life, these two children, the mother left them when they were toddlers, very young. So before I went in, that Lydia you see took care of them. So John also had taken care and took care of Lydia. So it's important, you people, that we take a lesson. You need to love children. Whichever children you find in the home, the children have no case, have no what. Women at times extend. When you are a stepmother, you mistreat the children. You don't know what will happen next. So these children have really been good to me, and I've also been good to them. And they have extended, as I tell you, John should have died long ago. But because of that love, he lived. So thank you so much, Lydia, and your husband, Tulije's around Tulije, Tofa Tulije. Yeah, he's there. Because, you know, John, maybe briefly of what happened to him is he's been sick with diabetes, but moving with it. But in 2021, he fell down. But earlier before, I've even forgotten. Earlier before, in 2003, when he had just gone back to Parliament for second term, he fell sick, very, very sick. There is, by then it was case clinic. It was just a clinic. Dr. Sebare and Dr. Stella, they actually helped. They said, this problem we can't handle. And as I told you, the friendship, actually Dr. Sebare had become a friend. And then we found this young doctor, Dr. Stella. So that she's out. She's now a big person in the American embassy. So she had gone to America. She could not be here. So they helped a lot. But then they said, we can't handle, let's take him to Mulago. And when he went to Mulago, the Mulago people said, no, we can't handle. I think we would advise that he's taken to Nairobi Hospital. And as I tell you that friendship, there is this gentleman called Baketunga, Fred. You know him, he's a businessman. So he came over and said, no, let me, because John was down, he said, let me buy a ticket. And we take him to. So by then I had just produced that Carlton you hear. He was less than a year, because he was less than a year. So I left that Carlton and went with him to see that at least when he come there. I left Carlton with a young girl, the daughter of my brother, as I tell you, family, called Sarah. Sarah had just finished school. She was young. She had just finished, she's 6, but she managed to take care of the child of I think he was like 6 or 8 months. But the friendship, I tell you, I had a friend, a childhood friend called Jane Baitwa. Baitwa comes from Bunyoro, Masindi. But she became my friend so much from school, we started to live together. We were all not yet fully married. Although I was with John, John was living in the house, I was also living in my house, but living with Jane. So Jane was working, but this Sarah stayed, and Jane, with her boyfriend Julius, they took care of Carlton. So I'm trying to tell you about what friendship means. When we reached Nairobi Hospital, when they had to admit you have to put in money. John was sick, just come out of elections. I was not now working. But this Hannington Karuhanga you see, he's always been there. And that's what I think I should call friendship. He brought all the money to start off. It was much money, good dollars. His Excellency, the President, can never forget those people whom fought with him in the bush. Whether what or what, when someone like maybe is also sick, he would come in. When he learned of it, he also sent money through Muhinda that time. So the sickness, he was healed, he came, he worked, and then another episode came in 2021. So John has been given a chance by God several times. That's why I called him Kawanao survivor, because he survived the bullets, he survived in the bush, he survived some episodes where one goes in the ICU for like 17 days, but he comes out when everyone has given up. But I thank God that God gave me the strength, and I said, John will not go. Even this time when he went, by the way, it became a shock to me, because this time around, he fell sick on of Easter. I was, as I told you, in my kauje in Rushenyi, and they called me. Arnold and Winnie had gone home just to give him company over Easter. So on Sunday morning at 8, it was 8:15, he called me, because we share in the morning before I go to the field when I'm up country, and then in the evening. So in the morning he called me, and he was really sounding very strong. I had heard from the children that he had a long day, enjoyable day on a Saturday. So I asked him, tell me Saturday, what happened? Then he said, because he loves politics. He said, no, you first tell me, because he knew that I was going to have a meeting. I had a meeting to come. As I told you, we are now in elections. So I had gone with my political team from Kampala. I have a big team led by someone called Alex Kabarenga, and kick a ball. He said, yes. Then later on he said, let me go and take my breakfast and take my usual medicine. Then at about midday, Arnold called me. I did not pick. Then he called again. I called back, and then told me how he was feeling. He said he's feeling uncovered, he's not breathing well. I said, you take 2 pillowcases. Then I directed him where to pick the machine for checking. Check the pressure, and the pressure was somehow good, 108/63. And then we have another son that came into our life. He's called Rukundo. Rukundo, we adopted him, and he's doing medicine at KIU. Is Rukundo? Where is Rukundo? He's a short man. He doesn't come from Lira, because he's still a student. So they post them in different hospitals. I told him to keep on checking as a medical person, and he kept on checking. At about, I think like 4, he told me it has actually somehow raised from to 110 over 68. So I knew that he's now okay. He's getting better. Because I've always known that even in such, he will get out. I did not bother. I continued my business. Then at about 5, I called Arnold just to ask about Easter, because he had already briefed me on John's sickness. So when I called him, he said, we are not okay. Actually, I could hear he was quaking. He said, we are in the nearest hospital was opposite Monyonyo. It's a new hospital. So they had taken him there. So when he told me, then I started calling all those doctors in Nakasero. But being a holiday, they did not speak. But one of them, the one who heads dialysis of Nakasero, answered and said, no, this Lydia had already informed me, and we are sending the ambulance. If I want to thank, on this particular point, I want to thank the Nakasero doctors. Nakasero doctors, they have been really so good. So good. I don't know whether some have found time to come, because he had made friendship. You see, that team, you see, those are the nurses who have been taking care of John. They have become really buddies. I'm sure they were also shocked, because he would tease them. You know, John knows how to tease. He would tease them, and they really loved him. So they were alert. They said, let him come. But unfortunately, before the ambulance arrived, those people were trying to reinstate him. I even told him, you use the nebulizer, it will work faster. But in a few minutes, that was a summary. John just went. So I was also in that. I rushed back. So that is in summary how he passed on. But all those episodes he had in the Nakasero, in the Take twice, in Nakasero again. Nakasero had become part of our home, in and out, in and out. But I want to thank some of these institutions. Institution of Parliament. TT, thank you so much. And you extend my appreciation to the Right Honorable Speaker. She was at home, she came, and she told me that she will not be able to be with us, but TT will be here. I call him TT. TT is my personal friend, and he calls John uncle, and we've known each other way back. So that institution helped. Even when you hear us traveling, they actually use their personal, these speakers use their personal money, because Parliament does not have money to give to your spouse or your children. So, but they would assist me as friends and friends of John, and helped. Then also the institution of UPDF. You people, these people, UPDF, you see it, they cannot forget their own. This is what I've read, this is what I've seen in his sickness. They cannot forget, they respect, and they do a lot. When anything happens, I said, your soldier is not well. And you see them working around. General Nareiso, through the PS of defense, we were in Turkey and I got stuck. And I said, what do I do? Then I called Honorable Sir. Said, what can we do? What can you do for your soldier? So he advised me on what to do. Then eventually, the PS also advised me that to write to the president. So that's when I tell you that these people can have differences politically, but when it comes to anything that touches any of these people who went to the bush, His Excellency the President will not sit back. And he did not sit back on John. It reached Honorable Nareiso, and I called her, and I want really to extend my appreciation to her, because she made it easy to reach. His Excellency has many things. Because I tried to call him, but I could not reach. So through her and the PS of Defense, I would like also you people to take my appreciation to her. They made it because the money was much, and what I had prepared was not enough. So they backed me up, and the money came, because what they had said, those doctors said, you cannot take him in this situation. Because me, I went for other issues. Then they said, no, this man's heart is not good. We have to do, it's a terminology that I had never heard, that trick-clip. I had to call Dr. Kero here to ask what it is. He said it is a procedure, but very expensive and can only be done by America. But thank God, the Turkey people did it. So I want to, at this time, thank the institution of...
Stop using ChatGPT like everyone else and do this instead. To the men over 50 who don't know how to use...
Thank the institution of Parliament and thank His Excellency the president, President Yoweri Museveni. Stop there, but even after John's demise, I don't know where he got the message. He told me, I've seen in the media that John has gone to be with the Lord. I said, yes. So he gave me his condolence, and he said, even Mama is here listening, we condole with you. So I thank him for that. And well educated. Actually, at one time he became my dictionary. He had very good English, because at times I would talk in my Rushenyi way, and he would say, but what kind of English is that? And I would tell you, you are English also. He said, but those are the schools, you people who did not go to Nyakasura. These people of Nyakasura became Nyakasura. He really loved Nyakasura. But as Huntington said, it modeled him. People, some of these schools that we go to, they also matter. Where you take your children matter. I think, apart from Kakamanje, the mother, I think even Nyakasura added a lot. Because John will tell you that when you are on a table, you need to have table manners. You have to have some etiquette. And when we are eating, I'm sorry, not you, but here. Kampala Club, that Kampala Club, he really loved it. It was the second to his home when he was still strong. And even when he was sick, he would tell me, when will I get energy to go to Kampala Club? So Kampala Club people, but he had started complaining that you are not keeping it to its standards. So maybe you need to improve the standards. I don't know which standards. Let me, at this time, thank very good mother. I had a chance to be with her. And I think some of this stubbornness, it came from the mother. One time the mother, you know, John, when he came from the bush, of course, he introduced President Museveni now, and those people were UPC. So he told his mother, now, you have to be, and leave this UPC. So after some time, when things fell apart, he now brought message. And then the old mother said, "Nga wankabya okandetera President Museveni hata akawira okireka."
Kale ayo mbaka wa Parliament Naome ngageza okubuulira abakungubazi biki ebyaviddeko mwami okufa ekyekyamujje mu mwongere okumuteramu essala n'abaana.